Hey Leo, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your November 2023 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. This is good for any and all placements of Leo in your chart, or you are welcome if you're a cross watcher as well. The key themes showing up for you in the month of November, you have self-love, conflict, and flexibility. So a very powerful trio you have here, and what you don't see coming, you actually received more than one. And the main card out was Ascension here, but there were a couple cards that got caught in the shuffle, so we're going to take a look at these as well. So you're definitely growing. You are rising above a situation that may have felt like a conflict to you here with the conflict card. I get that this can be mental conflict for some of you because we have the self-love card showing up. Now you also have detox and you have spiritual toolbox. So how to overcome some of this confusion here is going to be going within, using the spiritual tools that we have access to. And Scorpio season is a very powerful month for diving into the mystical realm. So again, your first card out here you have is self-love. This is about taking a deep evaluation, Leo, of what is working in your life and what's not, right? Are you being compassionate with yourself? Are you being kind? Are other people around you being kind and compassionate? Because I am getting here that there's necessary rest that's needed and required. You may be overworking, overthinking. Perhaps you are working on overcoming obstacles and your mental mind is going a million miles per hour. This is a really big month for finding solutions, sticking to them, and going all the way, right? One of the themes is go big or go home. And I feel for a lot of you Leos out there, you're choosing to heal, but go within as well. And that is a big energy to take on as we continue moving forward, right? It's a big energy to overcome some of those obstacles, some of those triggers, adversity. For some of you, it's that competitiveness within others or within the world at this time, because opposing views may be coming at you from every which way. But I do see here, because ascension is what you don't see coming. Again, you're rising above a situation that's been difficult financially, emotionally, physically, health-wise, or in a relationship, or maybe all of the above. Now, Leo, this is about you being kind to yourself and honoring your heart, honoring your feelings, because self-love is number one here. And you can see that her hand is on her heart chakra and her other hand is upward. So there is a level here of, equal give and take, but also receiving what you need to be the best that you can be, to manifest those things into reality that align with your soul's desires. Now you also have the flexibility card here. So it could be that some people are triggering you. They may be trying to squeeze out all you have to offer. This could be people who are younger than you. It could be your own children. It could be people who are immature in their energy, because I will say we have a lot of court cards out here. We have specifically 2 pages. We have a knight, we have a king, and another king. Yeah, so there's definitely more than one person in the mix. Control and power could be a struggle, right? Tug of war energy. He said, she said, my way or the highway. Thinking or doing in only one narrow-minded viewpoint could have been a struggle for you. But because you have flexibility, this is a situation that is calling for adaptability. Possibly even a new change in viewpoint. This can be adapting, it can be new ideas, and sometimes it's difficult to present your ideas to people who only have that, one-sided or one-track thinking. But I feel like there's movement beyond that this month. This is about expansion of consciousness, expansion of ideas, expansion in physicalities as well. Some of you may be growing or expanding your office, your business, your clientele, your reputation. There is something here that's going beyond. It's like it's rippling out. Larger radius is kind of what I'm getting. A radius spiritually, mentally, physically, or emotionally. But this is also about movement and going more with the flow. So some of you could really benefit from moving the body, whether that is through some yoga, playing tennis, walking, jogging, whatever it is that you enjoy doing or what you like to do to get that heart rate up or to get out of your head and into your body. You're being called to do that this month because there could be a little bit of tension, I see. But nothing that you can't get yourself out of quite quickly. You're quite brilliant here, Leo, and you have this fiery energy behind you that is motivating you. And I feel like its emotion is motivating you, which makes sense because Scorpio is a water element. So there could be a lot of motion, self-love, love for yourself that is motivating you this month to take a step towards your happiness. I like this. It may have been a conflict for you, or a conflict of interest is what I just heard. But now it's like you're being flexible in your approach on how you bring something up or how you tackle something, because there's alternatives I see here. And actually, you have, with the soul advancement, you have personal growth, you have awareness. There's something here that you're aware of that you didn't have access to or you weren't tapping into, possibly because of some sort of struggle or conflict. We have a hard time tuning into our intuition when there's so much external noise. That's why Spirit is reminding you to use the tools that you have available to find that peace within, right? Whether that is through meditation, through crystals, it could be energy healings, it could be, soul work with a friend or a partner where you pull out tarot and oracle cards. Maybe it's working with pendulums. It could be saging your environment or creating a sacred space where you're able to just find peace within, okay? I'm also getting here a tapestry, okay? Some of you, maybe you have a tapestry. I believe those are like it's almost like a cloth that you hang on the wall, but it may have a design. Maybe it has some sort of a spiritual design on it. Some of you may have a tapestry hanging in a room, or maybe it's something that you see or you find this month, but I'm getting that for some of you. I also sense that some of you, you may be holding a crystal, wearing a crystal, or you may be near one as you're listening to this video. It could be amethyst for some of you. Okay, it could be even a grounding stone. Some of you, maybe you like to search for crystals or rocks. It doesn't mean that you're purchasing at a metaphysical shop, but you could actually find a unique stone while you're out and about. It could be a stone with a hole through it. It could be a stone that's made out of, it looks like a heart, or it could be any other shape. So pay attention to the stones or the crystals is what I'm hearing. But then you also have the detox card. And the detox is all about eliminating toxicity, whether that's toxic patterns, unhealthy habits. It could be drama. It could be limiting beliefs or self-doubt. Whatever is going on in your environment that seems a little bit too much for you at this time, you're being guided to focus inward on self-love. And so some of you, because that is your motivating factor, the love of self, you may be cutting out things and people or foods or certain, energies that just no longer align with you. They may actually physically make you sick. Okay? So trust that. If you've always wanted to quit smoking, for instance, you may become physically appalled by the smell of smoke. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what's happening with our bodies this month. If you haven't already signed up for the monthly newsletter, sign up in the description box below. There's a link because it talks all about how our bodies this month are kind of like a Tesla, right? A self-driving machine at times. Okay, we're not a machine, but our bodies are doing things that are out of the norm, right? They're really advance and ascending, and now our minds as well are starting kind of catch up with it. So a lot of really wonderful things happening with our bodies this month. So again, purging, releasing. You may be called to try something new within yourself. You may be called to eliminate something. Trust your body. Go on a cleanse if you're being guided, some sort of diet. Release yourself from any sort of negativity, drama, or conflict. You can find resolution here, I'm hearing. So you have the King of Pentacles partnered with the Page of Cups. So for some of you, I do get that this has to do with a child. Okay, a child, stability, boundaries as well. There could be a birthday, Page of Cups. This could be a water sign. Okay, someone, I feel like this child, of course, I mean, most children are very gentle, loving, dreamy, open-hearted, but there's a new emotional situation that comes up, and I feel like it may impact you and a child. It may have to do with your work or stability here. I'm also sensing that if this isn't a child, this could be someone who doesn't quite know how to tell you how they feel. They may not be mature enough in their emotions to advance or to grow in a way, and that may be what you're teaching them. Maybe you are the teacher and they are the student, or vice versa. Some of you could be the student or looking for a teacher at this time, because the King of Pentacles, he's very successful, very stable, very accomplished, and we fluctuate between student and teacher at all times. But I do feel for you, your plans are going to work out. There is professional and financial success if you use those resources. So for some of you, the resource is this Page of Cups. It's someone who wants to learn. It could be dedication. This Page of Cups could be you learning something new, going back to school, taking an online class. Maybe it is hiring a marketer or a financial advisor, hiring someone who's good at what they do, but they're still learning. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So there's definitely here, with this Page of Cups showing up, some sort of beginning of a relationship that you're having with someone here that could lead to more flexibility for you down the road. I also sense that if this is a teenager or a young adult, or maybe even if it is a toddler or a younger child, there is something here with being able to maybe even work from home, or to be able to create a quiet, safe space within the home. You may hear about a child having a child. Maybe you're becoming a grandma. So maybe your own adult children are getting married, or they are pregnant, or maybe they're going through some experiences or changes here themselves, and they may be looking up to you for advice. Now, for some of you, this Page of Cups, if this is an immaturity, that's a little bit of a tug of war here. Some of you, this is, again, someone younger who thinks they know more, but you actually have way more experience. But as I always say, Leo, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So sometimes we just have to let go of trying to tug on that end of the rope, instead of having someone see it from our perspective and knowing that, yeah, we know what we're talking about, right? But we don't have to be the one that says, I told you so, because someone's going to learn it. Even if it's the hard way, they're going to learn it. And maybe that's part of their lesson, is to go through a situation here. And maybe you are the catalyst in it, right? But you don't have to hang on to that side of the rope any longer, is what I'm getting here for you. Because you also have the Hanged Man energy. And when the Hanged Man comes in, there is a better way. We can let go of that rope through flexibility. But the reason why there's inflexibility here is because, again, it's that back and forth. What's happening is there's a mirrored energy, and you know better than that. You're in this King energy and someone's in the Page energy. So, but you're meeting in the middle, because you think that if you help, it's like if you keep pulling, this person is going to meet you up at the level you're at, or maybe the person thinks that if they keep pulling, that you're going to meet them where they're at, and it's just not working. And that's why there's something that needs to remain flexible here. So pause. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. And typically with the Hanged Man and most of the tarot cards, that crown chakra is illuminated. And that's why you have here the spiritual toolbox and the ascension, because you are learning something. You're gaining a better understanding, and that's going to allow you to let go of that rope, let go of that struggle, right? Let go of that trigger or that adversity, because some of you, this is someone you work with and they think that they know more than you, but you have maybe 20 years of experience to back you up, or they may have 2. And it doesn't mean that they don't know things or have ideas, but they could really be struggling to be on the same page. And this could be also, for some of you, you may be in this situation to learn more as well. Maybe they have an idea that could benefit, but for whatever reason, maybe because of age or because of, lack of experience, maybe you could look at it from a different point of view with the flexibility here. Maybe they know something that you don't, right? We must stay open to non-judging, neutrality, and saying, okay, what do I want to get the most out of this situation here? So I definitely feel like there is a better course of action, a better plan for you here, Leo, than maybe some sort of certain specific struggle that you're going through. Because the page of Ariel now is showing up, and this is the page of, I love this too, because look at this. You have the King of Ariel, which is the King of, again, Pentacles. And then you have here the Page of Pentacles. So this Page of Cups, it may not have been, this person could have been too emotional, or just, they could have been a little bit aloof even, just very, maybe they weren't even open to hearing a point of view. But now, because perspectives have changed, you're on the same page. I like this, right? So this could be the same person. I feel for a lot of you this is, because the perspective shift has happened here, because maybe someone's backed off. Instead of it being my way or the highway, or this is the only point of view, how can we see things from, that higher level of expansion? How can we adapt? How can we work together to co-create? And now both of you are able to come up with educated, balanced, clever, and reliable solutions. Beautiful. Whoever this may be for you. There is an excellent opportunity here. It's going to be offered to you. This could even be scholarship. It could be the pursuit of education. Some of you, this is learning something new. If you struggle to understand or learn or to open your heart here, that's shifting. That's a big shift. There could even be a change of heart, which has been a big key theme, which is so interesting because that was Aries' key theme for their monthly reading. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries or have Aries in your chart, but I feel like it's a global energy because Aries is in the North Node at this time. So for a lot of us, we are having these different changes of hearts, right? To allow us to be flexible on an unconditional level versus a conditional level. Now, next up, you have the Knight of Swords with the Ace of Wands. The Knight of Swords is a go-getter. I mean, when he dedicates himself to something, there's no stopping him. So this knight is very strong, very committed, very intellectual, and very diligent. This could be another team player. It could be a very important partner in your life. This could be a child. This could be a sibling. It could be a coworker. Or this could be you just taking action here. Because again, there's a lot of court cards out here. So there could be family dynamics where it's been a struggle back and forth. But some of you are letting it go. You're making amends. There's some sort of peace now with this ace showing up here because it's time to move quickly. Someone may have been emotionally cut off, or there just wasn't enough emotion to keep something going. And you may have had to choose logic. There could be sudden changes that come in. There could be a replacement as well. If this isn't the same energy, if these two pages aren't the same person, someone could be in, someone could be out, right? It's like, okay, this didn't work with this person, but I'm going to move on to this one. Not that you're cycling through or using, but if you are a business owner, and you're looking to fill, the right seats at the right table and have your business running lucratively, but someone here is just kind of weighing the team down, maybe you have to do what you need to do and let them off. the hook here in a way. And that could be bringing someone on who's more energetically aligned to what your company values. Same goes in matters of, the heart as well. So Knight of Swords is saying that there's going to be some sudden changes that lead to a passionate new beginning. This is all about the gift of an opportunity, of passion, of inspiration. This is the chance to do something amazing. This is a sense of wonder. So if there has been, again, that tug of war, which I see, you're going to choose to do what you need to do in a situation, but you're also remaining open and flexible to these new opportunities. And you are cutting out, right, with the detox, you're cutting out things that just aren't aligned. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not selfish to let go of things that are not in our highest good. Next, we have the Six of Swords and the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, there could be some sort of a loss here, or someone feels like there was a little bit of a loss, but the disappointment will pass, right? This is about, it could even be emotional loss. There may have been regret, betrayal. There may have been a broken heart, maybe even bitterness. But I feel like someone's allowed the time to grieve, and now they're ready to move on. Or maybe you thought someone didn't get time to grieve over something and they moved on too quickly, because again, there's a lot of court cards here. But regardless, everything happens for a reason, Leo. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. And I like that this is actually moving forward with the Six of Swords. So you're moving on from that quite quickly. The 5 goes to the 6. So yes, it was disappointing. Something didn't work out the way that you hoped it would, but you're going to move on to bigger and better here. And you see that, yeah, there's some gifts that are open, but she still has this gift right here. And look at that. It even is the same color as her dress. So it matches her energy more so than what she's leaving behind with the 5 of Cups. Six of Swords, it's light. It's now the light at the end of the tunnel. And this energy is showing up a lot in the month of November, because October eclipse season was the shakeup, was the storm for a lot of people. A lot of truths, a lot of enlightenment, a lot of personal transformation occurred in eclipse season. And even though we're still kind of feeling the effects of them, and we will be for some time, but this allows you to move forward. So breathe a sigh of relief, take a nice deep breath in, and release, because there's new plans coming in here. This is relocation for some of you. For others of you, it's travel. It could be getting out of your head, getting out of some sort of mental conflict that really stirred up some emotions within you. It could have been even hurtful words exchange or arguments, or something that was just a little bit, it cut, right? It cut. We all have that happen at times. Now, your final outcome, you actually had the King of Cups show up, and right behind it, the 7 of Cups. So a lot of cup energy doesn't surprise me as we navigate through Scorpio season, which is also cups. This is about you making a decision, being clear on what you want and taking action. And it also says here at the bottom of the card, a need for detoxification. So again, double synchronicities, and you're going to start to see many different synchronicities. So those of you that are asking for guidance, you're asking for an answer or some sort of message from spirit or confirmation, you're going to see them. I feel like you probably already are listening to this reading, but you're going to see them show up in other ways in your life as well. Because your final card here is serendipity, which does talk about synchronicities. And there's the 4-leaf clover, right? And you actually, oh my gosh, look at this. You actually have the clover showing up here. I didn't even realize that. But you have double clover energy. So there is a handsome amount of luck, right? A generous amount of luck showing up for you this month. And once you make that decision, once you get clear on what you want, and that's what November is all about, getting clear. 11 energy, right? 11 is November. Soul purpose, soul path. You step into this King of Cups. And this King of Cups says it's safe for you to trust, the ability to accomplish many things as long as you continue following your heart, following your creative passions, because you're honorable, Leo. You're very generous. You're very warm. You're very refined. And whatever it is that you are seeking out here, if it comes from a place of love, You're going to be very, very successful, abundant, and happy with a desired outcome here. I like this. Don't let wishy-washy energy get the best of you. And if you have been riding that bridge, if you've been going a little bit back and forth, I definitely see movement here. A lot of it with the Knight of Swords and Six of Swords and the Hanged Man. I mean, something is coming to a forward movement after a time of a little bit of stagnancy. And it's going to bring a lot of happiness your way. Now, when it comes to career, finances, and money, you have the clover, you have the ring, and you also have the cutlery. So when the clover shows up, this is a lucky break. Okay, lucky break. I mean, you do have a lot of, you have kings, you have pages, you have knights. Some of you, this has been filtering through a lot of maybe applications, resumes, interviews. It can be clients, people that you work with. Maybe people have been coming on board and leaving. There's just been a lot of people in the mix, and some people putting their nose in places it doesn't belong, right? Sniffing things out here, trying to stir up some drama or some gossip. But you are taking a gamble, and it is paying off here because you have the good fortune card. This is about finances, your financial sector. Some of you, it could be an outdoorsy job, or maybe you are spending a little bit of time outdoors. You could be growing something outdoors, working outdoors. Maybe you work with plant-based products. You could be into traveling, or maybe travel-based business, real estate. Okay, risky business, or maybe this is a surprise coming in for you. But this surprise is going to lead to a connection, a financial commitment that you make that's actually long-term. Perhaps you're shaking things up a little bit on how you do your work, or how you manage your money, or who you go into business with. This is about fulfilling career, right? Working together. And that's what I like to see. Even though you have the conflict card, look at this though. The energy is shifting drastically. So the right people in the right seats. That was one of the titles for a sign. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Libra, maybe it was Scorpio, which makes sense, Scorpio season. But this is definitely about some fulfilling contracts, right? Contracts being fulfilled. And then we have the cutlery. Why? How? On the physical sense, it's because you have what they want. You have what they need, or what they are looking for, and vice versa. This is about you being able to live well, bring in more money. This is about, that missing spoon, which is what I always say here. You have the knife, you have the fork, but that spoon piece actually is your intuition in a sense. It's being able to blend the body, mind, the soul. And in this case, the knife, the fork, and the spoon. And I always say you can't eat soup with a fork. You could try, but you probably wouldn't get very much. So you're finding some missing pieces. You're putting them together, and that's helping you move forward. I mean, you could be in a food-related industry. For some of you, you're the sole provider, or you're gaining more work here in the near future because you are hitting some sort of luck, fortune after difficulty, possibly for some of you, fortune after not working with the right people. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, some of you working overtime because you have the overtime card here. So you may have been putting in long hours to pay something off, or just to pay the bills. I feel like there is a little bit of a shift when it comes to working so much because it's exhausting you. For some of you, you've been putting a lot of mental energy into a situation here because you have responsibilities, as we all do. You have the responsibilities card. And I feel like you may be delegating more, or there's an assistant coming in, or someone that can help you carry out some of these tasks and these responsibilities. And that may have been a struggle in the past with getting people to your level. They may have thrown the work at you, or maybe they expected you to do everything for whatever reason here and to work overtime. But that's shifting. That's coming to, an end is what I see, or a different way of doing things, because you also have paying bills here, and you have a change. So these three kind of go hand in hand. Overtime, responsibilities, and bills to pay. We all have those, but there's a change when it comes to that, or how you do it, how you perceive it. Some of you time off. There could be a change in a job. There could be a new promotion. Some of you are shifting your career, going back to school, signing new contracts, shifting a target market I'm getting here as well. So Leo, a lot happening here for you for the better, as long as you stay flexible within your approach and make sure that it's coming from a place of you doing what you need to do for you, because you love you, right? You love yourself. You don't want to work so hard, because some of you, your bodies are starting to feel tired. Your bodies are starting to not feel as flexible maybe as they once were. That's why you have the flexibility here. And I'm getting, for some of you, this is about an expansion of the mind, flexing the mind. What else is possible, right? So a lot of changes. If this is career for you, you're heading towards maybe a career that is more emotionally fulfilling, more satisfying, more supportive to you and your life goals and your mission, because you're emotionally intelligent and you've been patient as long as you could, right? But now there's something here that you're making a choice to rise to the top here and do what it is that you love and monetize or make money doing it as well. And maybe that means you do go back to school. And maybe you're with a bunch of younger people here, but that's okay, because it's going to help you shift this perspective and embrace some big change. So when it comes to love, a lot of people in the mix here. For some of you, you're single and you're out there dating. That may be why there's other people in the mix. Maybe you're doing some online swiping, right? How fun is that? Not really. But the worth waiting for says divine timing is at work in your love life. So if you have been struggling with love, if you've been wanting to manifest this, it's going to be worth it. Okay, because maybe someone else, you can't see behind the scenes, but they could be your person that is part of this divine contract, but they're finishing up things on their ends. And if you were to come together now, it wouldn't be the right timing, and it would leave, a sense of loss or disappointment. Or maybe you have come together with someone, but the timing was off. Maybe there's unrequited love, because it says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this going. And we talked about that a little bit with the page and the king. I mean, if you're a king and someone's a page, that energy is not going to jive very well. You may feel more like a parent. You may feel more like you are trying to teach this person, or that they are very inexperienced, or whatever it may be. But because here you have this king and this page, you could be meeting someone new and you may not realize there is potential here to meet you at that level, because there's a matched or mirrored energy, but it's just getting to know them now. Now, there could have been deception, and that pushed you away from a person, and it could have affected children, or you may be worried that it may affect children. But remember that everything that we go through, in a sense, we knew about prior. Your children will be okay. And I get this question so often. I'm worried about my children. I'm worried that, this is going to affect them in such a big way. Well, what's going to affect them, I can guarantee, is the role model of the energy that you want your children to be in when it comes to love. Because a lot of times what we show, what we mirror, we are our children's biggest role models. And if we are not setting that example, that may be what they then attract into their lives as an adult. So know that if something is unrequited, if there's no love and a connection, your children might grow up to think that that's normal, that's okay. And so please know that it's not worth compromising your integrity and your values and who you are in order for the comfort of, a child, because they grow, they learn, they understand, they feel energy. They are stronger than we think they are. And a lot of times it's you going through some difficult things and admitting and taking action and feeling and growing and evolving. That is the best thing that you can do for your child. Some of you may decide to, some of you are trying to go maybe even to therapy, or there could be deception and you're trying to figure out what to do at this time. Maybe that's why that last message came in for you. But if there's unrequited love, it could be that because you are in an altered state at this time of an emotional high because of some sort of deception where someone was emotionally foolish, you could be getting out of that, I see. It could be a loss, but the King of Cups is the final outcome. So you're going to detox from that energy. You're going to do what you need to do. It may be worth saving. That's up to you. Okay. It may be worth it, but each and every story is going to be different. So trust your intuition here. Use your spiritual tools to help you. Go within, because only you know the answers of what is best for you. All right. Also, when it comes to love, one last note. If you're looking for love, I mean, there's new beginnings here showing up, new prospects. So don't rule it out entirely. Get to know someone. Even if you have a different background or different views, be flexible is what I'm getting here. Of course, don't compromise your integrity. And if there is something that's way out of the ballpark that doesn't jive with you, you're going to know right away. Also, I sense that it's important that you see when someone has some unhealthy patterns or dynamics, because some of you have already gone through that in the past. Maybe someone who was into some sort of an addiction or codependent or, abusive or whatever it may have been. You can see through that and you can recognize it because you have the experience. All right. Now we have here card 34, 3, and 18. That could be a birthday. That could be an age. We have here the eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. I like the eagle. To me, it represents liberation, right? It represents freedom. And so for a lot of you, because you're able to rise above here, you're able to, rise above the fray, the conflict. You're able to, let go of something, or at least be able to surrender because you see it from that higher perspective and you see it clearly now is what I'm getting for some of you. Well, a lot of you. You will see things clearly. Next, you have benefactor, grace and generosity. Yeah, you could be the benefactor of a fallout here, whether it is some sort of judgment. It could be a legal situation. Maybe it's an inheritance. Something could have, gone wrong in a situation. I do feel like you are the benefactor when it comes to this whole thing, right? Because again, I keep seeing you, Leo, standing in this energy of the king. And even though there's a whole lot going on around you, it's like you are able to see things that other people can't because you've had the experience, but also you're a spiritual being. And you see things more through the eyes of grace and generosity. And you want to be generous with your time, but you also know your boundaries and your self-worth. So you're not going to settle for less than you deserve here. And you have lay of the land, which is all about ancestral wisdom. This is a powerful energy here because someone could have left land to you. There could be a land contract. There could be a home with land on it. Some of you could also be going back to your roots or your family dynamic. Maybe you've been healing a lot of ancestral wounding with even your siblings. I'm getting siblings for some of you. Some of you had to raise a parent or raise siblings when really you were supposed to be a child yourself. Okay, there's a lot of, if this is a family dynamic, which for some of you it absolutely is, you've had to heal. You've learned a lot. And you've grown, okay? And you're realizing that, yes, everyone is on their own soul's path and soul's journey. Some of you could even be looking at your own wills. You may be looking at, writing a will, leaving behind a plot, taking a look at the benefits here, or changing something around, maybe power of attorney. You may be looking at a parent's power of attorney, things of that nature, because I'm getting here that this has to do with maybe a situation of death, something you want to be prepared for, ancestral, because maybe in the past, someone may have been buried in, a lot of bills, or they may not have had the resources to know how to deal with that. And now you do. Maybe some of you do that for a living. Maybe you write wills, or maybe you're a notary, or you're getting something notarized. All right. And last but not least, Leo, you have serendipity. Again, there's that 4-leaf clover. So something is working out here for you. This is about you being at the right place at the right time. It is about fortune. It's about good luck. You've earned this. You deserve this. Even if it feels like you don't, you've overcome a lot. And ultimately, when push comes to shove, which is kind of what we see here in the tug of war, I feel like because you're letting go, what happens? We all know what happens when you're in a game of tug of war and you let go. What happens? The other person lands on their feet, right? They tumble over their feet, and then they land on their, their back or their feet. And then they dust their hands off and they get up again, but they may be a little bit flabbergasted in a way that you gave up or let off a situation here. And that may be part of this healing, part of this process, part of this letting go. Okay? Or maybe someone else gave up or let off on something. Okay? And you come out on top. Please take that as it resonates, because they're giving me push comes to shove. Push comes to shove. But it's like it's showing up in a way that maybe is unexpected. And maybe you are the benefactor because you didn't give up. But no one wants to be in a tug of war, of course. But I feel like it's been straining on you. Straining, just like when you're in a game of tug of war when you're a kid, you use muscles that you didn't think possible. So this can be an expansion of the mind. This is an opportunity for growth here, Leo. So overall energy this month is flexibility, expansionness, following your heart, your, dreams, as well as knowing that, yes, other people are affected by some of your actions, but you're staying in a state of grace and humility. And this is very mature of you, very wise of you. You're taking accountability, you're being responsible, and that is why you have the double clover. So definitely powerful luck coming your way. Wheel of Fortune, destiny intervening, fate. This is a turning point, a cycle that maybe has come to a close so you can move on to a brand new energy shift. That is what I have for you, Leo. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the Divine Channel messages out there to those that need it most, and it certainly helps the growth of the channel, which I love you guys. I appreciate you. All of your likes, shares, comments, super chats, personal readings, all of it. If you are vibing with the energy and haven't already hit that subscribe and bell button, please do so. Thank you so very much for tuning in today, Leo. Lots of love.